Welcome, guys, to Mr. Horror Doom, where nightmares breathe in the shadows and the walls remember what we try to forget. Tonight's story is not just a tale, it's a confession. A desperate man took a job no one else would, a janitor inside a hospital long abandoned. The pay was high, but the rules were strange, and the deeper he went, the more he realized this hospital was not empty. It was alive, and it was waiting for him. This is the story of how the night shift at St. Agnes nearly killed him. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with your friends and let me know where you're watching from. Thanks. Now, let's get into it.
My name doesn't matter. What matters is the job I took, and how it nearly killed me. I was broke, rent overdue, bills piling up, cupboards empty. You know the kind of desperation where you'd take anything just to keep the lights on. That's where I was. Then I saw the ad. Overnight janitor, St. Agnes Memorial Hospital. High pay. No experience required. Must be comfortable working alone. It sounded too good to be true. St. Agnes had been abandoned for decades, a rotting husk on the edge of town. Everyone whispered stories about it. Some said patients had vanished there. Others said the staff experimented on people. Everyone agreed the place was haunted. I didn't care. Haunted or not, it was money. And I needed money. The man who hired me was pale and stiff, with eyes that never seemed to blink. He handed me a badge, a flashlight, and a set of rules. Rule 1, never go past the 3rd floor. Rule 2, stay out of the psychiatric wing. Rule 3, don't use the elevator after midnight. Rule 4, if the intercom comes on, ignore it. He said it flat, like he was reading off a grocery list. Then he looked me dead in the eyes. Follow the rules, or you won't last the night. I laughed. He didn't. The first night I stepped inside. The smell hit me. Mildew, rust, and something metallic. My flashlight beam cut through the dark, catching relics of the past. Broken wheelchairs, cracked beds, stained tiles. It was quiet. Too quiet. At 2 a.m., I heard footsteps. Slow, measured, always one corner ahead. When I turned the hall, there was nothing. At 3 a.m., I found fresh words scratched into the wall. Don't go to the 3rd floor. The 3rd night, it was worse. The smell of antiseptic filled the halls, sharp and chemical. I found patient files in the nurse's station, records of failed experiments, photos of screaming patients strapped to beds. That's when I saw her, a nurse in an old uniform, walking at the end of the hall. My light hit her, but her face blurred. She turned a corner. I followed. The hall was empty, except for a surgical mask on the floor. Still warm. I should have quit. I didn't. By the fourth night, I was jumpy. Every sound set me on edge. That's when the whispers began. At first, faint, like radio static under the floor. Then clearer, voices whispering through vents, through walls. Sometimes, I swear, they said my name. At 2:30, I pressed my ear to a door. I heard sobbing. A woman begging, "Let me out!" I opened the door. The room was empty. Just an overturned gurney and peeling paint. Later, I saw a man in a doctor's coat at the end of the hall. I blinked, and he was gone. In the morgue, one of the drawers was open. Toe tags scattered across the floor. One had my name. At 3:45, the intercom screamed. Not words this time, just screams. Dozens of voices layered together. I dropped my light. When I picked it up, the hall was full of silhouettes, dozens of figures standing shoulder to shoulder. No faces, just blacker than dark shapes. Then they were gone. I hid in the stairwell until dawn. And in the supernatural silence, I heard a single set of footsteps. It was the doctor's coat, but now I could see his face. It was my face.
By the fifth night, I couldn't resist. Rule 2, stay out of the psychiatric wing. I went there anyway. The hallway was freezing, frost on the windows. Chains hung from the doors, but one was broken. Inside, padded rooms slashed open, restraint chairs bolted to the floor. Bloody handprints smeared on doors. In the last room, words carved into the wall. We never left. At midnight, the elevator dinged. The building had no power, but the doors opened, light flickering inside. Against every instinct, I stepped in. It dropped, past the basement, into floors that shouldn't exist. When the doors opened, I saw a hall I'd never seen. White walls, gurneys lined up with sheet-covered bodies. One of the sheets moved. I hit the button. The doors closed as something scraped the outside. When it opened again, I was on the first floor. My watch read 3:12 a.m. I'd lost 3 hours.
On the 6th night, the hospital wanted me. The intercom whispered my childhood nickname, something only family called me. Elevator doors opened ahead of me, waiting. A door slammed behind me, locking me inside a ward. That's when they appeared. Patients, skin pale, mouths sewn shut, eyesless, sockets staring. They twitched forward, jerking like broken puppets. They circled me, whispering through stitched lips. One touched my arm. Ice burned my skin. I smashed my flashlight against its head. It crumbled like glass, dust, not flesh. I ran, but the halls shifted. Corridors stretched longer. Doors led to dead ends. The hospital was bending itself to trap me. The rules weren't to protect me. They were to keep me from feeding the building.
Night 7. My last. The moment I stepped inside, the doors locked. Shadows followed me. Lights flickered, though there was no power. Whispers grew into screams. The elevator dragged me down into endless corridors. Gurneys rattled, doors slammed. Figures chased me, footsteps pounding from every direction. I ran to the lobby. The front doors were chained shut. Behind me, voices whispered together, "Stay, stay, stay." The clock struck 6. The doors unlocked. I stumbled into the dawn, alive but broken. I went back to the office where I signed the contract. It was empty. Dust, cobwebs, broken furniture. No sign of the pale man. No records of any company. But on the desk lay a folder. Old employee rosters. I flipped through, heart hammering. Nurses, orderlies, janitors. Then I saw it. My name. Dated 1963. I dropped the file and ran. I never went back, but sometimes, late at night, when I pass the ruins of St. Agnes, I hear the intercom crackle and a voice whisper my name.